Annie Lou was a remarkable young woman, full of energy and aspirations. Born on July 3, 1985 in San Jose, California, she always stood out as an exemplary student, admired by everyone around her. From childhood, she excelled in her studies, being described as polite, friendly, and extremely intelligent. Upon graduating high school, she had the honor of being the class valedictorian and was named most likely to become the next Einstein. Her bright future seemed promising. Due to her outstanding academic performance, Annie received scholarships totaling $160,000, allowing her to enroll in the Cellular Developmental Biology program at the University of Rochester in New York. During her academic years, she met Jonathan Widowski, with whom she developed a serious relationship. Together, they planned their wedding for September 13, 2009, and were excited as the special date approached. In 2007, Jonathan was accepted into Columbia University in New York to begin his PhD studies. Annie, on the other hand, wanted to continue her studies in pharmacology, so she moved to New Haven. Despite the distance, their relationship remained strong. However, her story had a tragic ending. On September 8, 2009, just 5 days before the wedding, Annie went to the university. Around 10 a.m., she entered the laboratory located in the building where room G13 was. Security cameras captured her entering, and that was the last time she was seen. When she did not return home that night, her roommates tried to contact her without success. Worried, they decided to call the police. Authorities immediately launched an investigation. Initially, there was speculation that Annie had run away due to the proximity of the wedding, but this theory was quickly dismissed by her friends and family, who confirmed that she was excited about the preparations. In the room where she had been that morning, her bag, keys, and cell phone were found. The building, with its narrow hallways and labyrinthine layout, made the search for clues quite complicated. An investigation of the access card system indicated that Annie had entered room G13 at 10:11 a.m., but there was no record of her leaving. As police reviewed the security camera footage, they noticed that at 12:50 p.m., a fire alarm was triggered, leading many people to evacuate the building, further complicating the investigation. However, with a more thorough search, investigators discovered something alarming. Small traces of blood were found on a shelf in room G13. Additionally, some ceiling panels had been recently removed, and in one of them, a surgical glove and a white sock with bloodstains were discovered. That day, only 2 other people had entered room G13 besides Annie: Raymond, a laboratory technician, and Larry, a contracted maintenance worker. Both were interrogated and provided DNA samples. In room G22, investigators came across small metallic beads resembling those of a necklace. When reviewing the security footage, they noticed that Annie had been wearing a beaded necklace on the day she disappeared. Luminol tests indicated traces of blood in the area. After days of searching, a strong smell of decomposition began to spread throughout the building. With the help of cadaver dogs, Annie's body was found inside a metal compartment in the wall of room G22. The body showed signs of assault and strangulation, along with evidence of sexual violence. Next to the body, a surgical glove and a white sock, both missing their pair, were discovered. Nearby, a green pen was found. An analysis of the building's access records revealed that Raymond's card had been used 55 times on the day of Annie's disappearance, mainly between rooms G13 and G22. Additionally, Raymond's signature on one of the records had been made with a green pen, a distinctive trait of his. With this evidence in hand, investigators identified their primary suspect. Shortly before 4 p.m., Raymond surprisingly used a black pen for the first time. With each passing moment, his connection to the crime became clearer. However, the police still needed concrete evidence to make an arrest. So, they sent everything found around the body, including the pen, for analysis. Meanwhile, the case gained enormous attention. News reports surfaced constantly, with alarming headlines placing the university under intense scrutiny, and parents of students voiced concerns about their children's safety. To ease the situation, the institution organized vigils in Annie's honor and provided psychological support for students and staff. Raymond had been working in the lab for years and was known for being controlling. He would become irritated when workspaces were not kept clean and organized. In an email addressed to the administration, he even specifically criticized Annie, stating that she did not maintain proper hygiene. During police interrogation, officers noticed that he had scratches on his face and body, along with several bruises on his legs. He claimed these injuries were caused by his cat. However, his explanations sounded contradictory. He was subjected to a polygraph test, which resulted in a disastrous outcome. But since the test is not legally admissible as evidence, he was released. The case took a major turn when the DNA test results were released. Raymond's genetic material was found on multiple pieces of evidence, including a bloody sock, a disposable lab coat, and a green ink pen. Additionally, traces of semen were detected on Annie's undergarments. Authorities believe that Annie lost her life shortly before the fire alarm was triggered. After the alarm, Raymond quickly removed his blood-stained lab coat and left the building along with the others, acting seemingly normal. As soon as the building was reopened, he returned to conceal the body in the metal panel of room G22. Faced with irrefutable evidence, Raymond was arrested and taken to trial. Although the prosecution did not need to establish a clear motive, several theories began to emerge. Many speculate that he had an obsession with Annie and that the news of her wedding caused him to snap. Others suggest that his aggressive behavior regarding the cleanliness of the lab may have been the trigger for the crime. During the trial, Raymond initially pleaded not guilty but later changed his plea in a plea bargain. He admitted to being responsible for Annie's death but denied any sexual violence. As part of the agreement, his sentence was reduced to 44 years in prison, meaning he will remain incarcerated until 2053. By then, he will be around 70 years old. Publicly, Ray never revealed the reason for his actions, never apologized, and never showed remorse. However, Ray's father stated that his son frequently expresses regret, claiming that he never intended to commit such an act. During visits, he reportedly appears in tears, begging for forgiveness. Annie's mother could not attend the sentencing, as it was one of the most agonizing moments of her life. However, she and her family felt relieved by the severe sentence given to Ray. To this day, the true reason behind the crime remains unknown and it seems will never be revealed. Annie's funeral was broadcast live, becoming a significant event. For several days, her mother and brother delivered heartfelt speeches that moved everyone present. Jonathan, devastated, wore the wedding ring he had intended to give Annie on their wedding day. She was about to complete her PhD, planning to marry her best friend, and had a life full of promise and happiness. Everyone describes her as an exceptional person. The reason that led Ray to commit such a horrific act remains shrouded in mystery.